Blake Lively has always cultivated an image of poise and sophistication, but in recent months, whispers have circulated that her carefully polished persona might be slipping. Industry chatter suggests her latest moves, and a new lawsuit involving Justin Baldoni, are raising eyebrows. Fans are torn between longtime admiration for her past successes and the unsettling rumors swirling around her current film project. Could this be just a temporary stumble, or is the glamorous facade finally beginning to fracture? But that's only one piece of the story. It wasn't too long ago that people saw Blake as the down-to-earth Hollywood sweetheart, who seamlessly balanced big screen roles, red carpet flair, and a picturesque home life. Now, critics are highlighting old interviews where she hinted at being more controlling than the public realized. Some of her own quotes, like describing how she needs authorship to feel fulfilled, reveal a tendency toward behind-the-scenes power moves that may have alienated colleagues. Doubts keep bubbling to the surface, and longtime fans feel conflicted. On one hand, she's known for donating to worthy causes and showcasing a warm sense of humor. On the other, industry insiders say she's got a history of strong-arming creative decisions. Suddenly, those old glimpses of her backstage behavior don't seem so innocent. Meanwhile, her rumored involvement in re-editing entire film projects or covertly influencing casting decisions keeps fueling the speculation. Then again, the most heated speculation always comes from one key source. Justin Baldoni, celebrated for his directing style and heartwarming storytelling, found himself at the center of a legal battle that took everyone by surprise. In this alleged lawsuit, the details remain hazy, but the gist is that Blake's vision for the project clashed fiercely with Justin's. Rumors point to on-set arguments, rewrites, and heated text exchanges that apparently left crew members exhausted. Publicly, both sides are cautious. Blake's circle hints that she was subjected to behavior that crossed a line, though specifics are often withheld. Justin's defenders say her claims don't add up, and point to behind-the-scenes footage that contradicts her version of events. At times, it feels like a game of he said, she said, except it's playing out on social media and in the tabloids for the whole world to see. An internal memo from the production allegedly mentioned creative disputes, but insiders say that's a tame way of describing the meltdown. People who worked on set recall friction between the two, with some describing an environment where no one knew whose notes to follow. Fans on social media have rushed to Baldoni's defense, pointing out that he typically fosters a supportive environment. Still, questions linger. Why did it spiral so publicly? But that's not the only piece of the puzzle linking these two big personalities. When sparks fly between major Hollywood figures, it's usually about bigger stakes than just one role or a single film. Rumors suggest Blake insisted on changing entire scenes to make her character pop, while Justin tried to keep the story's original integrity. Meanwhile, employees at the studio recall a swirl of canceled meetings, last-minute script changes, and a sense that someone was quietly pulling the strings. Gossip also points to friction with co-stars, who reportedly felt stuck in the middle. Did Blake orchestrate a campaign to keep certain cast members on her side? Some say yes, especially given her self-professed tendency to rewrite roles and nudge directors into her viewpoint. Others claim that she was simply being passionate about the material. Truth be told, the lines between dedication and dominance can get blurry under Hollywood lights. But wait, there's a whole other dimension to the drama. As rumors about the lawsuit trickled out, the online conversation took on a life of its own. Fan sites lit up with contrasting takes. Some blamed Justin for overshadowing the film to boost his directorial brand, while others accused Blake of playing the victim whenever it suited her. Memes popped up, dissecting every clip from interviews or press junkets, highlighting moments where Blake or Justin looked uncomfortable. Through all this noise, crisis PR teams got busy. Reports hint that Blake's camp wanted to soften any direct accusations, using carefully worded phrases to imply, rather than outright state, wrongdoing. Justin's team, in turn, aimed to depict him as someone blindsided by a co-star who demanded more creative control than she was hired to wield. Ironically, the spectacle only drew more eyes to the project, and fans began noticing the smallest details. A single offhand comment from an older press conference would resurface, igniting new debates. Social media thrives on drama, and this meltdown had plenty to feed on. However, certain players in the story seem to add even more fuel to the fire. Behind every Hollywood dust-up lurk 100 side stories and tangential rumors, like whether Blake attempted to cut certain scenes to favor her own character. Some sources claim she wanted more romantic close-ups that Justin refused, hoping to keep the film balanced. Others insist Justin was unaware of any last-minute edits until he saw the final version. Curiously, older interviews of Blake praising collaborative directors have re-emerged alongside new sound bites hinting that she felt cornered or overlooked on set. The clash of viewpoints is jarring, fueling suspicions of a hidden agenda. Did she campaign behind the scenes to spin the narrative? Or was she genuinely reacting to situations as they unfolded? Throughout all this back and forth, the real confusion stems from contradictory accounts. One day, a rumor says Blake was championing cast unity. The next day, headlines claim she was pulling strings to isolate certain individuals. Piecing it together sometimes feels like trying to solve an unsolvable puzzle, and the more everyone digs, the further the fault lines spread. Yet there's more to the picture, and a certain Hollywood star husband steps right into it. Ryan Reynolds, known for his quick wit and cameo appearances, found himself dragged into the fray, both deliberately and by coincidence. Speculation runs wild. Is he quietly backing Blake's version of events? Or is he advising her behind the scenes to dial things down? Some fans argue that his deadpan humor on talk shows might be coded jabs at Baldoni or the studio. Others see him as an innocent bystander simply trying to support his spouse. Stories floated around that Ryan pulled some comedic stunts at an SNL special, referencing the drama in a joking way. Critics hammered him for making light of a serious situation, while supporters said it was just his style. Hard to know which stance is correct, especially when neither side offers clarity. For better or worse, Ryan's name keeps popping up each time the controversy escalates. No matter his actual stance, his presence alone intensifies the spotlight. Media outlets keep tying the entire fiasco to their brand as a Hollywood power couple. Their typical playfulness, once considered charming, has become ammunition for commentators who accuse them of mocking real concerns. It's one more reason the public remains glued to every development. But after all these swirling allegations, what does the future hold? Whether Blake Lively emerges from this ordeal unscathed or irreparably tarnished remains an open question. Studios watch how she handles conflict, and that can dictate whether future directors feel comfortable collaborating with her. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni, despite the storm, seems determined to soldier on with new projects, convinced his work will speak for itself. Perhaps we'll get a definitive answer if the legal battles go to trial. Until then, Hollywood thrives on speculation. Some believe Blake will pivot to quieter ventures or behind-the-scenes producing roles, hoping to rebuild her reputation outside the harsh glare of tabloids. Others think she'll attempt to reclaim her image through feel-good projects or a major philanthropic push. As for Ryan Reynolds, it's anyone's guess whether he'll keep stepping into the fray or slowly step back. In a world where PR spin battles with raw emotion, it's tough to predict if this is just a passing storm or the start of something far more turbulent for Blake's future. One thing seems certain. The more each side tries to control the narrative, the more the public craves an unfiltered glimpse of the truth. And as always, we'll be watching closely to see what twists and turns come next.